Hello and welcome to the In the Wrong Bed Darts podcast. I am your host, Justin Weigler. As always, with me is Jonathan Sokol. And today we're going to review the U.S.
Everyone.
Masters and look forward to the upcoming Poland Darts Masters this weekend. What a weekend it was at the U.S. Darts Masters. I went to it. It's always a fantastic time. You see a lot of interesting people.
Yeah, on the TV, the crowd sounded great. Sounded really exciting. Everyone was into it. It looked like a really fun event.
I can't tell you how shocking, and how loud the crowd was in that last match when Asp played Luke, and the crowd was on Asp's side. I think for the most part tonight, they just decided we're going to pick him, and that's going to be it. I think especially after he beat Littler, it was kind of 50-50 there, and then it was Aspinall after that.
Do you think? Like in years past, do you think Asp was a crowd favorite for the U.S. crowds?
I would say he was. Yes, I mean, the crowd liked him definitely, like more than others, but I wouldn't say it was to this level. When he got, it was a big MVG crowd, and I think that last match when he hit the bull to go 5-5, the crowd just absolutely erupted, coming back from down 5-2 and 5-5. It was like chaotically loud. Like it was like a home crowd, but like it was 4,000 people there, but it was just like there was a roar to it, which was really, really cool.
Yeah. I actually really enjoyed that Peacock picked it up and was showing it rather than having to watch on like a PDC TV. It actually got a little mainstream coverage from one of the streamers here, which was pretty cool. So.
Oh, really? What happened? I know Peacock had picked up. They've picked up a bunch of the majors for the rest of the year as well.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, they picked up the majors for the rest of the year.
Oh, that's excellent. Actually, that's really cool. I had no idea about that. So it's actually kind of nice to see some coverage somewhere else than just having to go to PDC's website. So.
Who had picked it up? Like what blogger or whatever picked it up? Or did you just mean Peacock?
Peacock. Yeah, just Peacock. Okay. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's such a great time. You just meet like a lot of cool fans there too. Like I can't tell you how many people are just randomly talking to that are just Darts fans. And it was just a really neat environment to be in. You learn who's people's favorites, what off. The first night's always interesting because it's definitely the home crowd, everyone's cheering for the Americans and the Canadians.
Oh yeah. They got a few victories in there.
They got a couple. They did get a couple this year. Not ones I was expecting. Certainly not 6-0 Lobby over Cross. I don't think anyone had that.
I mean, Lobby's one of the more capable ones, but no way should you have thought he was going to blow out Cross like that. But I had thought Adam Savada was going to play better this year. He was the one who I really thought had a good chance of winning, but I guess that's 2 years in a row he just hasn't shown up in the big match.
he was actually a lot. He was supposed to be coming into form though this year. I think that was the difference. Last year he was still kind of unknown. This year he was like in form, and then he throws up a 75. I start to wonder he just might not be good on a big stage.
I think so. I know his going into this, he was legit like low 90s average for maybe the past 3 months, and really, just lost it once he was up there.
Yeah, and so he was kind of a disappointing thing. It was nice to see MVG in his first tournament back actually do pretty well. I know he lost to Gerwin, but he actually didn't play that bad. He didn't play his top form. He played well against Leonard Gates.
He did.
100 average.
His first round was very strong. It was actually pretty surprising. I thought he might struggle a little bit, but he took care of business pretty easily. And then he had Jules Van Dongen getting one leg.
He got a leg.
Yeah. Luckily, I know we would have lost money on that if we had been able to bet 6-0 Littler, because I was dying to do it. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah, it might have been for the best. There was nowhere internationally or nationally that had anything but just the money line on that. And I mean, even going off at minus like 10,000, like I don't trust anybody to, you can get hurt. Things happen.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. Yeah. It's like,
I mean, remember Derek Van Dyvenbode tore his ACL on stage on a walk on, like so, like stuff like that happens. So you can't ever just bet. Although nobody thought. I was hoping there was a minus 4.5 out there because I think we would have hammered that one.
yeah. Speaking of the injuries during walk on, we had the Luke Humphreys incident this time around with the thumb.
That's absolutely crazy and kind of screwed
Yeah.
us a little bit out of our minus 3.5 that we had
Yeah.
on Humphreys, because he even admitted, like, after that he was shook for a little bit, like he was mentally shaken about it, almost as much as physically shaken about it.
Yeah. He shook it off enough to go on to win, but that first match, honestly, he did not dominate for sure. He was just kind of middling, and then was able to get it 6-4, I believe. And so, but it wasn't always
63, or 93, which not great for him. But he definitely, like, you could tell the first few legs he was just not like he wasn't himself.
Yeah, something felt a little off, I think. So.
And of course, that kind of, but it's the kind of thing, like, one, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more on walk-ons. I remember once Michael Smith was walking on, and you could clearly someone kind of like grabbed his hand too much because he kind of looked back at him like, "What gives?"
Yeah, what are you doing?
Like, but I'm surprised more things like this don't happen.
I know. MVG kind of goes with the hand
fist
like
pump,
this.
Either his hand down or a fist pump.
I mean, that's a smart way.
I think that's a smart way to do it. Like,
that's what you got to do. That makes the most sense. But just he does the thing with his hand down. I always think is really weird, where he's just like dead fishing people with the back.
Yeah, kind of. But I think it's for that reason, so people don't grab like his thumb. He keeps his thumb out of the way for that reason.
Yeah.
And I think there's probably a reason why, because he's probably for that type of nonsense that happens.
I would definitely just go full fists and down the aisle. That's my approach.
Exactly. But all in all, great tournament though. There's a lot of Damon Hedda actually I thought played really well. He had 104 and lost to Humphreys 7-3. Like, he just ran into some bad luck there. But I thought Hedda was a good bet on this tournament. Didn't come through.
Yeah, he was actually he was the person I enjoyed watching the most. I think just because he was really loving it out there. You could tell he was glad to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So I'm still excited to see if maybe he can crack the Premier League. I think he would be a great addition. Just seems like he has a good time out there. That's what you want to see. So
yeah, he's entertaining. He obviously throws well. I think if he goes far, either if he wins a tournament he's in, or if he goes like really far in like the Worlds or something like that, like if he gets to the quarterfinals or better in the Worlds, I think he's probably in. But he was just on the cusp of being out last year. I think he was the highest ranked player not to get in. I think he was 8th and didn't get in. But there's going to be a couple obvious people coming out this year, I think.
Yeah, his level of play has just been consistently high now for 1, 2, 3 months even.
It's so weird though. Like, it's consistently good, but he doesn't put like 4 matches together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think when he got dumped out of this tournament, didn't he still play really well and just kind of?
He did. Yeah, I mean,
I didn't feel like it was on him so much. I felt this time it just felt like he ran into someone who outplayed him, but he was still playing pretty high level stuff. But.
He does seem to get a little bit unlucky occasionally when he is running into that. But sometimes you got to overcome it. Sometimes you got to, but Humphreys or Aspinall, that match against Hedda, he had a 102, but sometimes you got to beat a 102. Occasionally you got to lift your game and make some and just string together some big scores and go out in 12 when the other guy's hot. Like, you do have to do that.
Yeah,
like
he definitely could He just needs to get a little further in the tournaments, like you said. String together 4 really solid matches, get to the finals, maybe win one. Would love to see it. That would get him in the Premier League for sure.
Yeah, I think winning he's got to win like at least a Euro Tour. He's got to win, and then do well in the majors. Like I think if he does solid in the majors, if he wins a major, he's in. I don't think they keep him out another year. I would imagine Bunting's coming out. I imagine Dobie's probably coming out with the Premier League this year. So a couple spots
Dobie,
open.
Maybe.
Every time
we
he's
just
in,
haven't
he doesn't
seen him
do
lately.
anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's just it. You know, they keep putting him in, and he keeps doing nothing. It's kind of like, all right, well, you're good, but you're not top 4 good, so we're not going to have you in there because of that reason.
Yeah.
And you know, there's no like massive Dobie fans or haters out there. That's just it. He doesn't elicit an opinion. At least Gerwin Price. I love Gerwin Price, but a lot of people hate him. But if nothing else, people have an opinion on him, and that's what matters.
Yeah, strong one way or the other, and so he's interesting just for that alone. So
yeah, exactly, and same with MVG to an extent.
Yeah,
but, they're going to keep him in the Premier League as long as he keeps wanting to be in the Premier League. I think until he just falls off. But he's certainly nowhere close to doing that yet.
No.
And I don't even know how you would kick out Aspinall at this point.
Oh, he's definitely
he had a good Premier League, and he's still a fan favorite, and he still he still plays well. Like you have no good reason of taking him out.
No, I mean he's playing even better now than he has been for quite some time. I think he's up another level. Like he was sort of sitting there 95s a lot for a while. Lately he's been throwing out 100+ averages in quite a few matches. I just think he's really locked in. So
I honestly, like, he's kind of my sneaky dark horse pick to win the world match play. He's won it before. He loves that format. Like, and also because he never gives up, like being down 5-1 doesn't phase him in a 1st to 13. Like that's not going to be a problem for him.
Yeah. So when is that? Is that starting in 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah, it starts in, and that'll start in a couple weeks. That'll start on I think the 19th. I think it starts.
Okay. Oh, that's exciting. Yeah.
But sorry.
Any other interesting things from the live experience at Madison Square Garden?
It was funny. I saw on Reddit there was a guy that said, "Hey, somebody who lost their vial of cocaine, I have it for you if you want." And I swear I know who this guy had to have been. This guy was in an AF shirt, and anytime they started it's a dumb chat, the boring tables, he would start getting up and screaming at like the crowd because he was he was on the tables. He would scream back at them, and he was the only one that like took it like too seriously. So I was just like, oh geez, like dude, you got to simmer down. But this dude was out of his seat the whole time. I don't know why he paid for a seat. He was just like there, just drinking beer, like screaming the entire time. And wearing an AF shirt. Yeah. So you can imagine what was going on during the last match.
Oh man, yeah.
Like living and dying by every. He I remember, and then he was funny. He was yelling at the table. He was yelling at the crowd, and they were yelling back at him. And he jumped up and dropped his beard, spilled it everywhere, and the whole crowd just went nuts laughing at him.
That's hilarious.
So he had to like sit there and get owned, like on that one. So that was a memorable moment. But
it's a good time.
It was just honestly, it was a really good crowd this year. Like. So yeah, it was like everyone was really into it and watching, and at least where we were sitting, not too many shenanigans. I mean that sometimes happens, but for the most part, it was pretty good.
And you were like just 1 or 2 rows, first couple rows in the stands area.
Yeah, we were the first couple rows into the stand. So, we bought them as soon as they came on sale, so we were able to get good seats. But it was just it's just like it's kind of raucous, but it's also fun raucous. So, and everybody was like, I was shocked how many there were a lot more Americans there this year. Last year there was a lot bigger mix of Canadians, international, and there may be reasons for that.
Yeah.
But like the fact that there was that many American like darts fans was heartening to see. Honestly, like see that there might be some even more growth like coming in the U.S. for this. So
No,
excited to see the future.
yeah, I think it's only growing. I mean, it is. It's definitely on a decent trajectory, but I'm interested to see how much
I
it
actually
grows.
think this Peacock thing's a massive deal
I
because
think so
before
too.
the only way you could watch was either you had to pay for PDC TV, which means you
Yeah,
were already a darts fan, right?
exactly. No one's just finding that, yeah, out of the blue.
Exactly.
So,
So now that there's a place where it's on free TV, or at least sort of pay
yeah,
TV on
yeah,
Peacock, is a step in the right direction. I still think they need to get on cable. The only other way to watch it was like on if you were streaming on
they don't
a
need to worry
betting
about
site.
cable.
Yeah, that's true. That's
the
true.
You're right. Yeah, streaming on a betting site, but then
You have to
that's
be
not the
already in the know
casual person.
anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, no casual is going to be just picking that up.
But now, like honestly, when you open Peacock, it wasn't on the homepage, but you go over to the sports section. It was first thing up when it was live, at least. So I think people probably stumbled into it and got some good exposure.
I'd be interested to see what they thought, or if they ever announced the numbers on Peacock on what they got. But I do think like it's good. It's better exposure than what they had. I still think. I know you think everyone thinks cable's dead, but people still flip channels around on cable to see if something's on. At least in the sports areas, like if you're a sports fan, you'll flip on like ESPN two or or ESPNW, to see random stuff.
Yeah.
So I think there's still room out there, but it's definitely an improvement than over what you've been the last year. Because at this point, unless you were a hardcore fan, you would never see anything.
Yeah, I think for it to really take off, you're still going to need like a really good American player. That's really but that's not happening because, well, it's starting to get better. Like just Houston alone, we have kind of the darts group here really does a really good job of putting on tournaments, ADO sponsored stuff, and just trying to build players, from the grassroots level. And so I think you just need more of that going on and more people just interested, and eventually you'll get a top tier US player.
I think you need an American. I kind of agree. I think you need an American to make a run at like Worlds or something like that.
Yes.
For it to garner national attention about darts. I mean, honestly though, people heard about Littler though when he won and when he was 16 the year before getting to the final. People did notice that here. Like it did start making the sports sections and start making just the general interest sections here because of how young he was. And I think you need an American probably to start getting that growth.
Yeah, that would really start to do it. I think
but I mean,
honestly, there's been better Canadians than Americans, I think, so far overall.
Yeah, oh no, you're 100% right. But it's not like, I mean, John Part was the world champ 15 years ago, or 20, 18 years ago, and it didn't really seem to move the needle that much.
He's an announcer now, so he.
I know. I mean, people know who he is if you're a darts fan.
Yeah.
But like you would have thought, oh man, this, you would have thought, oh, it would blow up in Canada or something like that. It just didn't. And honestly, darts didn't have the exposure then that it does now. But I think we're now in a turn where I think you're getting better quality players. They need to start figuring out how to get, because as you had said, there are a lot of people in local leagues that have no idea that there's pro darts.
Yeah, that's also true. Many people have no clue about any pros. Like, I mean, you can assume that there are, but they don't know.
They certainly don't know.
The league. Yeah,
they certainly don't know how big it is in Europe.
Yeah,
they don't know like how massive it is in the UK, in the Netherlands, and Germany. They don't have that kind of, I guess, exposure to even know that. Oh wait, people are playing in front of 3,000 people all the time over there.
Yeah.
So with that, we can start looking forward to the Poland Darts Bets Masters.
Yes.
The draw has come out. I don't know who are you liking for this in each of the matches that are coming out.
Yeah, so I mean, as usual with the Masters events, you got a lot of pretty big favorites here. Just looking at the list, I mean the best of the Polish Masters challengers is probably going to be Ratajski and Sedlacek. Sedlacek getting a decent amount of legs against Littler is probably one of the bets that I like the most. Plus 3.5. I just, he's a decent player. He can throw in the 90s, mid 90s. Having a 3.5 leg spread just is too much for someone of his quality.
I agree, and and it's not just how he's capable of 12 darters regularly enough that even if he doesn't need to break Littler, think about it. At 6, you have to do 6-3 or better, which means even if you don't have the darts, you just have to hold 3 times.
Yeah, and you're guaranteed to get 3 chances.
Yeah, exactly. You're guaranteed to get 3 chances as a minimum. And so it wouldn't surprise me. And Littler, I don't think really, I don't get the sense he loves these tournaments. I think he doesn't because he's the face and needs to go on them. I don't think he, regardless, this is like I have to win the Poland Darts Masters to make my year complete. So I think he'll win, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 6-4. 6-3 or 6-4.
No, I wouldn't either. So that one you're paying a little bit of juice with the plus 3.5, but I like it enough. There's enough talent from Sedlacek that Littler,
and for whatever reason, he always seems to do well in the first round of these things. Like he wins a lot of first rounds of Euro tours.
Yeah, he's a 95 actually. Like he's better than you think he is. 95 average for Sedlacek.
Yeah. So he's got enough in his game to win 3 legs.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that bet. One of the others I like also is Aspinall against Zagansky. Aspinall's just really playing well right now. He's starting. He knows what he's basically said is he's trying to round into form for the match play, and he knows these warm up events matter for that more so than it is to win these tournaments. He went to the finals. He played well. I wouldn't be shocked for him to go far in this, and I like him minus a 2.5 against Zagansky, who is, can have some moments to him, but honestly is a mid-80s player.
Yep. And this one, if you graph their sort of average progression, they're diverging. Like you said, Asp is going up, Zagansky's going down. This is a classic, hard bet spot for me. When you see that, that's just a perfect situation where you're probably getting pricing that doesn't fully take into account how they're playing, and that's a good spot to look at.
Yeah, form matters, and Asp is in good form. The only thing I worry about a little bit is that these guys are coming from the U.S., right? They left Sunday, or they left. They probably left Sunday, got back Monday morning. Their time zones are going to be a little bit off. They're not going to be right till probably Wednesday, and then they're flying over, to be there Wednesday, like into Poland today, which is another, probably 4-hour flight.
Yeah,
into Poland. So I do worry about the travel a little bit. That's the only thing. That's my biggest concern on this. On betting him, but I think. I do like him minus 2.5 in this instance.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's a good point about the travel. This is definitely a tough schedule for these guys to have to fly out, go back home first, most likely, and then be on another flight shortly after that.
Yeah. We mentioned kind of briefly Ratajski. He plays Johnny Clayton in the first round. That's a tough draw. I think
It
for
really
him.
is. Yeah.
Clayton's playing well.
I wish he had gotten someone different because I would have liked to have given Ratajski a go here, but I just don't think that against Clayton, it's not a very good opportunity.
No, I mean I'm not sure. I think it's plus 120, minus 150 for Clayton. I can absolutely see
Not
him
enough.
winning this.
Yeah.
I just don't like it that much. Like if it was
Yeah.
plus 150, I would probably be tempted. Plus 150 or better might tempt me on this. The way Clayton's playing right now, and also he doesn't have the travel issues that everyone else had because he's been in the UK the whole time. He could be fresh for this. I could see. I would say he probably wins like 6-4. I mean that's kind of what I would feel 6-4, even 6-5 maybe. But I do like Clayton in this slightly. I don't think I like either of them enough to bet either way.
Yeah.
Because I think either could win it.
No, I agree. It's the line set right where it should be, pretty much, and to the point where you're not getting any value betting on that one.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the other matches are pretty much routes. I think there's big spreads on Bunting versus Kanik.
Dobie over Jahersky.
Yeah, Dobie over Jahersky, Cross over Kuke, and MVG over Lubitsch. I do wonder if Lubitsch could probably get a few legs off him, though.
Yes. Actually, that's another one that I would consider the 3.5 Lubitsch against MVG. That one looks tempting enough, and he's played in enough, mid-level to high events where he's getting some experience and some exposure where I at least remember the last time I saw him playing, and he was
in the World Cup, I think.
Yeah, that's right. It was in the World Cup, so
maybe that's probably would round out. Like I wouldn't bet a big favorite. Like Cross or like Dobie's like minus 1,200 or 1,400. I can't see betting him.
No.
On against anybody, honestly. But
Cross's performance, I mean, there's two ways you could look at it. That he's going to be motivated to really bounce back after his really poor showing, or he just could be searching for something right now, and he's not going to be able to come through. But
yeah, I mean Christoph Kuke's like a high 80s guy. Like Cross should handle him easily, but he should have handled Danny Lobby easily, and he didn't win a leg. So, I think I'm staying away from this match, but this could be one of those weird things where Cross just goes out and just like, I'm going to throw, I'm just going to bury this guy to kind of get myself right. And I could see that happening.
I know it's one of those matches where, beforehand, we have thoughts each way, but afterwards it seems like, oh, this was so obvious. No matter
exactly. Why didn't I think that was gonna? Why did you think he was gonna?
Like, oh, he's obviously playing terrible right now, and Kuke, keeps it close. Or it's 6-0. Yeah, of course he bounced back. He's Rob Cross. He
remember it was Rob Cross. Maybe he was hungover from Thursday night. Like I don't know. Like
I'm Keith Hernandez.
You're right.
Moment.
It's funny. You're right. I can see absolutely anything happening here.
And guarantee, no matter what it is, we'll be ruining not being on the right.
Yeah, we're not being on the right side of it either way. We'll be upset by it. So so with that, looking at the draw, I'm trying to see who I kind of like in this.
Oh yeah.
He's the top half of the draw. Like I would have said Aspinall. I wonder if Littler's going to be kind of pissed off that he's lost the last two to Asp and try to make a point.
I could definitely see that. This has the feelings, no Humphreys, like of a Littler bounce back tournament. He kind of wants to take.
He did win this last year.
I could definitely see this being a Littler. Problem is the price for him is probably.
Oh, I'm sure the price on him is going to be absolutely terrible. I mean, it's probably plus 200 here. Let me see.
Especially with no Humphreys.
Yeah, plus 200.
Okay.
So
no Humphreys. It had to be low.
So he's the favorite. Gerwin Price second at 500, MVG at 700, Asp at 800, Bunting at 800, Doby at 900, Clayton at 900, and Cross at 900.
I mean, from the looks of it, well, not even from the looks of it.
This would be a very Rob Cross event to win, wouldn't it? like all of a sudden, like he does absolutely nothing the week before, and you count him out, and then he goes on and wins this at plus 900.
Yeah, I mean the bottom half of the draw is very much weaker. Let's just say
gettable
across the board.
It's gettable.
Yeah, because even the top two players of Ratajski and Sedlacek are in the top half. So it's
like I don't see upsets happening in the bottom half, which would be Gerwin Price versus Doby, then Cross and MVG.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah,
what about
like
Doby?
Food for thought.
What do you?
Doby
I mean, I'm looking at Price. I think Gerwin, he's still playing well. I think that's going to be one of my picks.
I don't know if
here.
I like him at plus 500 though.
Oh, you're right. That's too low.
It's a little low. I mean, like
what is Doby's line?
Doby's line right now is 900.
That's still too low for him too. Jeez.
It's going to be too low for. It's rare that you find value on futures.
Yeah, I had. Well, in the US
interesting
Masters,
future actually for me is Ratajski at 2,800. Home crowd.
Yeah,
he's gone far in this before.
I can see him getting to semis.
I mean, look at
if he gets past Clayton, he's going
to play Bunting. It's not like Bunting can't be beat.
No, that
I mean, in the semis, you then have Asper Littler with the semis.
That's the problem.
That's going to be the problem match.
You have Asp playing really well, and Littler, obviously being high level.
But that's the only one that's mildly intriguing. I think, like, because he does avoid them until the semis.
Yeah,
and you might get lucky. And obviously you're going to play Asper Littler, but I mean, Asp is much more beatable than Littler, and Asp beat Littler the last two times out. It could happen.
I know.
I mean, that wouldn't be. Let's see here. Is there any other long shot that I would even try?
I wish Doby's was higher. I thought he'd be like 14 or 15. Then I would take a shot.
I might take a shot at that. 900. Like, I don't like him going through Gerwin and then probably MVG or Cross.
No.
If you get MVG in the semifinals, so start smelling blood there.
Oh yeah.
He's him and Littler. You kind of have to get him early.
Yeah.
In the tournaments.
Yeah.
If you don't get them early, they're really hard to finish
they
on.
Get going. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's tough to say I don't love anybody other than I might take a flyer at Ratajski at 2,800. I mean, that might be the only one that has even remote value, I think, on it. He'll be an underdog every match, but I don't think he'll be a massive underdog other than to Littler, he'd be a massive underdog. He'd be a 4-1 dog at least.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't see anything else that I would like. So that's last week I did have Humphreys and Bunting. Humphreys was 360, but with the draw and where he was, that was I had that showing as a bet. So
yeah, I had Bunting in Hedda. I Hedda just ran into her hot ass.
Oh yeah, the head of the line, that definitely was a good bet. I cannot deny that should have had some value to it. And I had been feeling for a while that Humphreys wasn't getting his line was, Littler's line was probably plus 200 ish last week, and Humphreys is double that. Just to me, they're not pricing Humphreys right. But he's not playing this week. So, and then after winning the U.S. Masters, I'm sure it'll be corrected some. But it just seemed like he's playing still high level, could win any tournament, and he was starting to drift up just a little bit to the point where I felt like he was shifting into plus EV based on some of the simulations we ran. So.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So who do you have? So who do you have winning this one? You had to pick just outright who wins.
Yeah, I don't know, Dobie. I don't know why, but I just want. I think Dobie could do it. He doesn't have the travel issue either, and I kind of like that. Dobie or Clayton. That's gonna be.
Yeah, I kind of like. I'm gonna say Clayton or Littler. I know Littler's the chalk, but I just think. I don't know. He's almost due.
Yeah,
he's almost due for a win.
Yeah, actually, you're right. And I did mention that earlier.
I don't like the price.
Felt like no, but those are my three.
Yeah,
Littler, Dobie, Clayton. It has to be one of those three. Don't stray from that.
Don't stray from that.
Yeah.
There's no possible way Asp could win this.
No.
Or Clayton. Yeah. Or MVG coming out of the easy part of the bracket. Like or Rob Cross that we thought like might just show up and win it. So
but for the record, my choice is Dobie. I'm going
all right, fair
from
enough.
the bottom
I think
of the draw, Dobie.
yeah, you're right. I probably should go from the bottom of the draw. I really do think for some reason Littler's just gonna decide to win this.
Yeah,
I really do.
He
but if I had to bet,
upset.
I probably would take Cross at 900 at the bottom of the draw. Everyone's against him right now. Everyone's down on him. Buy
exactly.
low.
That's the way to. That's when you jump in. So
yeah, buying low on that. Although I
had
am very
one bad night.
2,800.
Yeah, that's worth a little bit.
Might be
of
worth a
dabble.
Yeah, need some money on that. Awesome. Well, that will be all for today. So for Jonathan Sokol, I am Justin Weigler. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.